Hi, it's Mark Bossert from Top Local Lead Generation. We're here with Vancouver Wedding DJ Mr. Gary Waight of DJBoogieShoes.com. How are you doing today, Gary?
We're doing very well. How about yourself?
Good. So we're going to talk about differences in wedding DJs. So what makes you different from your competitors?
Well, there are a number of things that actually make us different in some of the services that we can provide. First off, what I'd like to talk about is our guarantee. We're actually the only DJ service in the Lower Mainland that guarantees their work, so that if you're not happy, you don't pay. And you just have to think about that. You get a guarantee with everything you buy, from the toaster to the house that you purchase. It all comes with a guarantee. I think, why should that be any different for an entertainment service that is providing the music for the most important celebrations in your life? You know, whether that be a wedding celebration, an anniversary, a birthday party, a corporate event, etc. All these events, they'll never come again. And the wonderful memories of a special time in your life and the lives of your families, colleagues, and friends, that's just priceless. So I feel a guarantee is a really good way for the client to feel confident that I'm going to do the utmost to have his event come across exactly the way they want it. And the other thing that we have is our style of interactivity. It's just another feature that sets us apart. We can reach guests to be interactive through games, through activities, by creating some fun characters that will make your event have lots of laughter and contributing to make your event memorable. For example, I have a character called Mr. Brown Nose, which is very interesting, and we have the YMCA guy and the Macarena dude. So all of these characters add to the event, and I'll actually come out and do interactive things with the guest if it's appropriate and if it's needed. So our style of interactivity is a little bit different than any other interactivity that they'll have going in Vancouver. And thirdly is karaoke. It's one of our specialties, and not only are we the only music service to offer karaoke rental machines, but we offer the largest database of English karaoke songs in the Lower Mainland. With over 145,000 English songs, we literally have a song for everyone. And we also have a few multicultural selections in there as well. But getting back to the karaoke rental machine, these are great little units that we actually rent out over a 24-hour period or more if you desire. They're great for small parties, but one of the great things about them as well is that you can actually plug them into a larger speaker or PA system, so that whoever your music provider is, you can rent one of these machines and plug it into their system, and voila, you have a great karaoke event for the evening. It comes with over 2,000 songs. It has professional line outputs, of low impedance line outputs. It has effects in it. It has graphic equalizer, everything you need to have a karaoke event at a really great price. And if you're like I said, your music service doesn't have karaoke, you can rent that and they can have it. But the hosted karaoke services is another thing that comes with full system, lighting, microphones, effects, and we can shift seamlessly from the DJ music to karaoke without missing a beat. We can also offer super ideas on how to use karaoke effectively at your event. I just was finished with a client who was asking for that, and they were very happy with the suggestions, and now they know how they're going to effectively use their karaoke and DJ combination for the Christmas party, and of course we're doing that. So they're just a few of the ways that we're pretty unique.
So what areas do you travel to in the Lower Mainland?
We really travel to a wide area. We go all the way from Vancouver Lower Mainland to Whistler, out as far as Hope. Of course, there are travel charges when it gets to be over an hour travel from our central location in Vancouver, but there's no problem if we need to do an event in any of these areas. In some instances, it may require the client provide accommodation and travel if we go as far as Hope or Whistler. It really depends on when the event finishes and if it's possible to drive back to Vancouver safely in the middle of the night. I regularly do events in Whistler, and lots of times they do finish by midnight, and I can be back in Vancouver in a decent amount of time and a reasonable amount of time. So I do drive back in that case. We also travel to the islands as well, Victoria, Nanaimo, Gabriel Island, that sort of thing.
So when do you arrive to set up for the wedding?
For the regular service, we arrive an hour early to set up and be ready to go at your contracted time for your event. I actually like to be there even a little earlier, as some venues loading in the equipment, going to park the vehicle, and then getting back into the venue can take a little extra time. I do have a database on locations and venues so that I know in terms of logistics of getting the equipment into the venue, setup details, and so on, if there are any challenges, and I can set the time up in order to do that and have the music ready to go at the time the client wants it to happen. If we have to do extra services such as the wedding ceremony or a karaoke setup, again, we'll be there in plenty of time to have that done and operational at the contracted start time. For the budget services, because it usually is a smaller setup, we arrive 30 minutes prior to your event, and we'll have everything ready to go when you need it. And by the way, this is included in the price, and the client does not pay extra for setup or takedown times.
So what's the minimum of hours for which you'll provide service?
Oh, we're always really happy to play for whatever hours you require, whether that be 5 minutes or many hours of music and services. However, the basic service, the minimum that we go out for is for 4 hours, the charge. So if there's an instance where you may need music for only an hour, we can do other things such as having the PA system work for your speeches or announcements, play dinner background music, karaoke music if you require it, even game music if it applies to your event. I believe the longest that I've actually played for was for around 13 hours on the set of NBC's new TV series coming out in December called A Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. And the shortest time I have played in terms of minutes was just last evening on the set of the TV series The Flash. In total, I probably was at the console for no more than 30 minutes, although the filming for that episode took about 8 hours.
Awesome. So we're in the presence of like entertainment celebrity here in Vancouver. So we've been talking with Mr. Gary Waight. He's a Vancouver wedding and event DJ here in Vancouver. You can reach him at djboogieshoes.com or give him a call, 604-816-7727. Thanks a lot, Gary.
You have a great day.